Okay, so second grade, we're going to make an artwork, and we're going to use a paper plate, and I'm going to ask you to think about some traditions. So I want you to think about traditions that your family, a tradition is something that your family does, and you've done it for a long time, every year. Maybe it's something about a holiday. You have a holiday tradition. Or maybe it's every weekend you do something. Maybe it's like on a Sunday morning, you make your dad makes a big pancake breakfast and you sit down for breakfast. So a tradition can be something like that. And it's something that you do maybe once a year or every week or every day. And you could see in the book Fry Bread the tradition of making that bread and sitting down and eating it and having it as a meal. And there are a lot of other traditions in that book as well. So I want you to think about what is a tradition that you can put on your plate. So like I said, Sunday morning for my family, I like to cook a big breakfast for my family. So I'm going to put a little pan here, and there's pancakes cooking on this pan, and maybe I have a plate over here, and it's got some eggs on it, and we have some bacon. So this is a really great tradition that my family has of just making a breakfast. And I know we do that different times of the year, but usually it's a Sunday morning thing for my family. And maybe here's a table, and maybe here's Mr. Van Houten right here. And maybe I have a little chef's apron on. There you go. There's my apron. And right here, there's some windows back here. So that's my tradition of cooking breakfast for my family, a good tradition. My family is going to be on the other side here eating. So one thing we could do is, kind of give those lines some more depth in there. Use a pen. If it's really small, I've got a pen or a very fine Sharpie would also really help if you've got very fine lines in there. Okay, so here's my tradition of making this breakfast for my family, and I think it's a good tradition. And I think about what your family traditions are. What do you do? And if you don't know, ask a family member. Say, what is our traditions? What do we do during a holiday? What are some things that you do each holiday that you can remember doing since you were a little boy or a little girl? And there you go. And then I'm also going to use some colored pencils. You could use any kind of coloring material, but some of these colored pencils work fairly well. Let me give myself like an orange apron. That'll be fun. So color that more in than I am, but you'd want to kind of color. I think a Sharpie would have worked better for me. My pen is kind of smearing. I would definitely say use a Sharpie there. And there's my pancakes. And there's kind of my dinner right there. Okay, so after we do that, we're going to have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want 7 lines there. And we want to cut there and 1, 2, 3, and We have 4, 5. I'm stopping right there when I cut. 6, 7. So we're going to do some weaving because in the art section, they really talked about basket weaving. And so a lot of the Native Americans, weaving was just one of those crafts that they really used. Even natural materials and things were woven. So I'm going to put it through a slit, and I'm putting a piece of tape there. And it's over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under this one, over this one, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. Then you're going to cut that right there, and you're going to tape that to the back of your paper. And then you can get a new piece of thread with a different color, tape it on the back, and continue weaving. I hope you can share that with your family.